Going to be making some chocolate chip cookies today. Now, if you're on a diet, you probably want to turn away now. If you're a chocoholic, you're going to love these. So the first thing I want to do is quickly go through the ingredients we're going to use. Now, I've got 125 grams of unsalted butter, so it's half a block of butter, 1 egg, 200 grams of plain flour, which we're going to sieve to get a bit of air in there. Then I've got my chocolate chips. Now, I've got milk ones, but you could use white ones, whatever you like. I would say about 150 to 200 grams of chocolate chips. Half a teaspoon of baking powder, probably about half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 30 grams of cocoa powder. Then I've got light brown sugar. Now I'm going to use 90 grams of that, and also 90 grams of caster sugar. And then we've got Nutella. Now this little tub here is 200 grams. I'm going to use 125 grams, so slightly more than half. And then just a pinch of salt. So there's all the ingredients, nice simple ingredients, but this makes a really delicious chocolate chip cookie. Now for a quick reference, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to display all the ingredients that we've just gone through. So now we've gone through the ingredients, what I'm going to do is get myself a bowl and I'm going to use an electric whisk, and we're going to whisk up the butter and both of the sugars. Now with your butter, if you're just taking it out of the fridge, what you might want to do is just pop it in the microwave for 10 or 15 seconds just to soften it down a little bit, and it makes it much easier to whisk. So let's get a bowl and whisk it all up. So I've got myself a bowl. Now I did put mine butter in the microwave only for 15 seconds. As I say, you know, I tend to keep mine in the fridge, and it just makes it so much easier when you want to whisk it all together. Now to that I'm just going to add the caster sugar, and then we've got the light brown sugar. So I've got my electric mixer there, so I'm just going to, a nice slow speed, just gently whisk it all together. I mean, obviously if you haven't got an electric whisk, you could do it by hand. It's just that, you know, obviously I've got one and it makes it nice and easy. There you go. Now the next thing I'm going to add is just the 1 egg. So just pop that in. Then I'm going to add just a little bit of vanilla extract. Let's say roughly about half a teaspoon, just add a little bit more. Then I've got my Nutella, as I say I'm going to use 125 grams, so I'm going to use roughly just over half a pot. So I'm not going to measure it out, I'm just going to, there you go, it's roughly half a pot there, that'll do. I'm just going to scrape that off the spoon. And then again, I'm just going to give that a nice quick whisk. So again, on a nice slow speed. Now next of all, I'm going to get myself a sieve, and I'm just going to put the plain flour in there. Also, whoops, the cocoa powder, the baking powder, and just a little pinch of salt. Now let's just do that from a little bit of a height, because what you want to try and do is just to get a bit of air in the mixture. So we just carry on and tap that through. There we go, got that all in there. Now the next thing we're going to do is add all those chocolate chips. And to say, you know, you don't have to add quite as many as I am, but might as well go the whole hog. 200 grams, lots of chocolate chip cookies there. Maybe you could do a mixture of sort of white ones and brown ones, you know, up to you what you add into there. Now for the next bit, we're not going to use an electric whisk because we don't want to sort of damage all those chocolate chips. I'm going to do it with a wooden spoon by hand. So what you want to do is just keep mixing it until it's gone into a sort of cookie mixture and all that flour has been incorporated. So just carry on doing that until it's all nicely mixed up. I've got mine all mixed up, and look at that. So now we've got the cookie mixture all ready to go. All we need to do now is to get ourselves some baking trays with some like silicone paper, parchment paper, baking paper, like a non-stick paper, and we're going to put some nice big splotches on there, put them in the oven, and when they come out, you are going to have the most delicious chocolate chip cookies. So let's get the baking trays and start making up these cookies. Now obviously it's entirely up to you how big you want to make your cookies. I'm using like a tablespoon. I'm going to put lines of 3. Now what I'm going to do with this second tray is I think I'm going to make a really nice big cookie. Just kind of squash it together, squash it down a little bit. Going to make a really nice big one with that. See how we get on. There you go. Now in the end I filled this tray up with 9 smaller cookies, and what I thought I would try is have one really big cookie on the other tray. So, you know, never tried it quite as big as that, but let's give it a go. So what I'm going to do is switch my oven on and get it preheated. Now my oven's just come up to temperature, and as I say, 180 degrees Celsius, 350 Fahrenheit, gas mark 4. I'm going to put them in, set the timer for 15 minutes, and you'll have the most beautiful cookies. Oh, that'd be delicious. So leave those in there, cooking away, 15 minutes. Now I've been cooking my cookies for 15 minutes, so let's open it up, have a little look. Let's pull this out. Ooh, they look good, they look really good. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put those on the table, let those cool down. Now with this really big cookie on the top there, I'm just going to give it another 2, maybe 3 minutes, just to make sure, because it's a nice big thick cookie. I just want to make sure it's nicely cooked. So I'm going to leave the big one for another 2 or 3 minutes. So I'm just going to pull that big cookie out. Now this big one, I actually gave it 3 minutes more. So the little one's 15 minutes, this one I gave 18 minutes. Look at that beautiful, ginormous cookie. Let's pull it out. It's going to be good. So I've taken the cookies out of the oven, and what I'm going to do is leave them for a good 5, maybe 10 minutes. Now here we've got the 9 cookies. Now I normally make this size of cookie and they look absolutely beautiful. This one I've never quite tried as big as that before, but looks scrummy. So, you know, it's up to you what size cookie you make. Leave them to cool down, 5 or 10 minutes, put them on a plate, and then we're going to try some. So I've got my cookies on the plate. Which one shall I go for? Well, I think I'm going to go for this one initially, just to show you. Look, let's have a look at this. These are quite soft still, but let me just try a bit of that. Oh, that is just so chocolatey. That is chocolate heaven. That is absolutely the most delicious chocolate chip cookie I've ever had. I do tell a lie because I've had these before, but they are fantastic, absolutely yummy. Now let's just try that big one, because I've never really made one quite as big as this, and I'm kind of tempted to break it there, and look at that. Oh, I'm going to take a big mouthful of that. Big bite. Look. And it's still warm. That is heavenly. Go and make these. They are absolutely fantastic, and you won't look back. I can't say any more than they're beautiful. Thanks for watching my videos. I hope to see you soon. It's difficult to speak because I've got so much chocolate in my mouth. It's to die for. See you again soon, the original Naked Chef.